to the stream, you guys. So I did start a live stream like 5 seconds before this, but then I always have like find my iPhone open like whenever I open my laptop because I can never find my phone. It's always in the most obvious places, and then I dox myself. But anyways, so yeah, last time we stopped here, and we're gonna continue on from here. Inshallah khair. Right now it's 5 p.m. exactly on the dot. So yeah, let's just get on with it. Inshallah. Today is not a good day. It's not a good day. Yo, Johanny Castillo, welcome back to the stream. How's it going? Tell me about your day first, and then I'll tell you about mine. Because it's only 5 p.m. and so many things happen. And I woke up late too. Everything went wrong. Okay. Well, I'll let you talk first.
Those two layers behave differently. The next things we want to talk about is the optimization methods. Okay. Previously, we talked about, let's quickly review the gradient descent.
Hi, yo, the gem Psyduck, welcome to the stream. How's it going? First, like, thank you. Why is it not a good day? Okay, so first of all, I woke up to the text of my sister saying to hang the clothes. Right, it's like a normal thing, but I went to the laundry machine and it was half full of water. I was like, what? I can't even hang the clothes. And then that didn't go well. It's like, okay, fine, that's not that bad, right? Then I go see my cat. He's meowing. He's back to meowing. He stopped meowing for a bit because, out of boredom, because he had Junie, like the little kitten that we gave away to my cousin in Utah, and so now he's back to meowing. I was like, ah, and then I see what he's meowing about. So it's like he wants to go outside. Then I peek outside and I see my garden where I planted strawberries, red chilies, dill, thyme, milkweed for the monarch butterflies, and basil and cacti, like 3 cute little cacti, and then moss rose and a bunch of saplings and a mango tree seed and so many things, and like hummingbird and butterfly seeds. That didn't work, but still, I had so many things in my front yard and it was all demolished. I don't know who did that. All the other gardens are perfectly fine. All my neighbors' gardens perfectly fine. Somebody came in and just thought, hey, I don't like this garden here. Let me ruin everything. Well, it's not the worst case scenario because the roots are still there, so it can grow back. It is not like a perennial thing, or like annual. I think that's what it's called, perennial. It's forever, like it lives forever. So yeah, I made sure to get those types of plants that live forever, but still, it hurts my heart to see all my progress go away. Because yesterday I was looking at the what do you call it, the milkweed, right? The monarch butterfly host plant, caterpillar host plant, and I saw 2 monarch caterpillars. I was so happy because, I bought the plant with caterpillars on it. And the next day it was gone. I was like, no. And then today, or yesterday, I saw it there, and it came back. I was like, yes. Oh my goodness. But now it's completely demolished. I was like, oh my goodness. Like the whip splash of feelings, man. It's crazy. But that and that and that, it's not even the worst thing. Today I was trying to cheer myself up after that whole situation, and then I made a cannoli. Like I bought it from Trader Joe's, and then I put it in the air fryer, and then I took it out, and it was not like crispy on the outside like it should have been, but it still tasted good. I loved it so much because cannolis are like my top favorite, what do you call it, like desserts. So then, yeah, I had that cannoli, and I had another one, and then I started feeling a little sick. I'm like, maybe that was too much sugar. But then I look at like Instagram Reels to see like if it's supposed to be crunchy on the outside, and it was supposed to be. But then this guy was making it. He's like, okay, and then you add rum. I was like, wait, I forgot because I made it myself too. And the only reason, and I forgot why I made it myself, is because you can't buy from other places because it has rum in it. Like this alcohol, we're not allowed to have alcohol. So then I ate that, and I was like, no, I'm ruined sandwich. I'm like a whole pirate now. But yeah, I had to throw away the other two. At least it tasted good. Like the texture was not that good. It was haram, but I'm not sinful for it. I didn't know, so it's fine. But still, like yeah, ruined my day. But it could be worse. It could always be worse. Why is it not a good day? I mean, maybe by the end of today it will be good. Hopefully. Who did it? I don't know. I don't know, bro. I wish. Actually, I don't know if I wish I knew, because then I just hate them. I have to ask though. I was thinking maybe I should tell the manager what happened, but I'm too shy. Bro, that's not a good excuse, man. I'm not shy when it's like when I'm hidden, like if I were that shy, I wouldn't be a live streamer, right? But yeah, I'm not shy if I'm anonymous, which is weird. Like I'm not that anonymous online either. Like you can hear my voice, see my hand out, and all. Sometimes my face, but yeah, true. It's just yeah, it's scary, confronting. Cause I don't know what I'm gonna get out of it. That was like $300 of damage. Cause each plant costed at least $20. And no matter how small they were, because one of them plants I forgot to mention was a Peggy Martin, which is the name of a climbing rose. It's so beautiful, but because it's hard to find, I had to get it from online, and so there was a shipping price. It was altogether $30, even though it was that small. You could not imagine, like, the cost of it versus the size, but still they took that too. Like, it was not to be found anywhere. It's not like they ripped it just to damage it. They took it too. The whole chili plant was gone. You can still see some baby chilies on the floor. Like, I'm eating dinner. Nice. What are you eating?
And we already know what it.
But yeah, I was just crashing out. I literally cried too when I saw that. But afterwards, I was trying to find some, something to learn from such an experience. That's just the first thing that your mind gravitates towards. It's like, what can I learn from this hard experience? Because what else can you do, right? You want to learn from it so it doesn't happen again. But what I came to the conclusion of is that if no matter how much you take care of something external, there's a possibility that somebody's gonna ruin it because it's external. They have that ability, right? Murphy's law. If the possibility exists, it's gonna happen. But something that they can't touch is your the inside, like your heart. The what you feel, your mindset. I mean, there is some people who are able to like break your spirit, like they do for animals when they try to take them into circuses. That's different. Like the spirit, yeah, but um, what you feel inside, like if you're a good or bad person, they can't force you to be a bad person inside, right? Basically, the point is the garden, it was destroyed, but the real garden in your heart is your good deeds, and nobody can take your good deeds away. Only you can, by wronging others or backbiting, because that's what they'll do on the day of judgment. They'll take your good deeds, because yeah. Oh, put in the backyard. That's true. That's true. I could put it in the backyard, but the front yard has that automatic irrigation system where there's like sprinklers built into the ground, and it just like waters it. Even though I didn't go outside every single day, because I did try to grow a plant in the backyard. That's why I had some Miracle-Gro left for this garden this year, because I had it for a long time. But I don't go to the backyard every day. It's like the thing dies by itself, and yeah, I don't know. If I want to, next time I should do in the backyard, but yeah, there's like a whole umbrella in the backyard, and like, I don't know, maybe I'm just making excuses, but yeah, I don't go outside every day. Sometimes I'm just like really tired. But the front yard is like always moist, like it's perfect for plant growth. It's like the best environment. Even if half of it's like shaded, it's still like they would still grow, because the morning dawn and the evening sunlight, it reaches that area. But yeah, hope your guys' days have been better. Do you have people cut the grass? Yes, we do have those people, but they did it on Wednesday, which is so weird, because if they're here on a Wednesday, or actually they did it on Thursday, yeah, Thursdays are when they cut grass. But actually, no, wait. because my cousin was here on like Saturday, but I don't know if they cut grass on Saturdays. But yeah, they don't do it on Mondays. That's for sure. Like Mondays are not when they cut the grass. But today, so actually, you know what? I had a clue, cause I was trying to inspect to see the autopsy of my garden disaster, and the water reached all the way in the far back of the grass, like the dirt. It was moist in an area where normally it's not moist, cause the trees would block it, right, from the water going too far, cause there was like a lot of saplings in the way. But that means if the water got reached that far, that means like they had to cut the grass or do all that damage late at night for the water to have gone there, because the sprinklers only go off at night. That's the conclusion I came to, though. I'm having breakfast for dinner. Really? What are you having? Pancakes? Oh, actually, I had pancakes today too. It was like leftovers from when I hung out with my cousin on Saturday. She paid for us, and my sister got lemon ricotta pancakes, and they're actually so good. I don't know why it didn't taste that good in the store versus at home. It that always seems to happen. Like everything tastes better at home for some reason. What's for breakfast? Yeah.
Stochastic gradient descent it is, right? We will mention some other optimization method based on the gradient descent method. So what is gradient descent? Suppose here this is the parameter values we are starting here, and we will compute the gradient. Suppose this is a gradient direction, but we want to usually typically we want to minimize loss function, so we will follow the negative gradient direction.
Pancakes, scrambled eggs, and crispy bacon. Ooh, so I was right. Well, partially because I said pancakes. But yeah, this sounds awesome. Breakfast for dinner. You know why eggs and that are like a breakfast food is because it's easier to cook, or like quicker. You know, it doesn't. You don't have to make like something that takes too long to cook in the morning, because ever since, in history, people didn't have refrigerators for like leftovers, right? So they had to make something fresh and quick, and eggs were like the first thing. So yeah, just because it's quick, like, doesn't mean you have to eat it for breakfast only, right? It could be it's good dinner food too. We're back. I'm gonna go watch dinner. Haha. Eat. I mean, okay. Enjoy your food, Johanny Castillo. You guys are both eating. That's crazy. I was good. My stomach kind of hurts. I might have ate too much. Well, I don't blame you because that does sound really good. But hope you feel better. Maybe you should like walk around. That would always that seems to help. Milk? How does milk help? Milk is helping. Yo, Guilty, welcome back to the stream. How's it going? I know, right? How does milk help? Because that if your stomach is hurting for like acid reasons, maybe I feel like that would help. But if it's for eating too much, that would just fill you up more. I don't know. I was just thinking of you, Guilty. No way. That's crazy.
And given based on some learning rate, suppose now this parameter values will change it to here. But this is for the negative gradient direction with some parameter.
Well, your thoughts have summoned me. Yeah, true.
lineage.
But yeah, have you been guilty? Hope you've been good. Inshallah khayr.
At this new point location, we will based on the batch, another batch, the next batch we will compute the gradient and follow the negative gradient direction, right? And then eventually, we hope we could find the parameter values.
Yeah, I've been good. I woke up literally 30 minutes ago. No way. So wait, where are you from again? I keep asking this. I probably forgot. I mean, I probably asked, but I feel like I forgot. Dude, I read good as God. Oh, dang. How have you been? I've been better, but don't worry, I'll feel better, inshallah. I did explain the whole situation of my garden being destroyed, like utterly destroyed by someone I don't know. And I don't know why. I mean, I don't have beef with anyone. I feel like it's the gardeners, like they thought it was too bushy or something. But it's hard for me to pick weed, like the weed that pops up on the ground, like out of nowhere. It's because it. How could you take a life if it doesn't cause any problems? Like the plant. I know it's not sentient, but it's still providing oxygen. Like, I feel bad. I don't want to even pluck weed, bro. There were calla lilies. I think that's what it's called. That grow so fast and they're so resilient, and like they covered the entire field or like the front yard. So I try to take those out just cause like I know how like big they get and maybe that's good, but that's I was blaming them for why they demolished the whole front yard or like not demolished but like really destroyed everything with like what I mean. And then yeah, I was trying to blame the calla lilies, but they did it anyways. There were no calla lilies or anything that big for them to do that. They just kept doing it. I was like, no. I feel like now I'll let the calla lilies grow. It's kind of like because I was causing a genocide in that towards that specific plant that I got like they got payback on me. So now I won't destroy or like remove any plants anymore. I'm from New York. Okay. Yeah, my cousin's from New York. And that cousin that I'm talking about took me out of her personal Snapchat story. Which I could be offended by. Or I could ask her why she did that. But I'm such a non-confrontational person. Like, it's bad. It's so bad. Uh, because I feel like before when things got really hard for me, like I would confront people, but then they take it as like, no pun intended, but guilt tripping. Maybe I feel like there's a better way to confront people, like just asking, not assuming things. But even in asking, that could come off as assumptions. I don't know. I have to get some wits from somewhere. I kind of go by Duck. Okay, Duck. Goodbye, Jem. Bye. I'm gonna call my friend. Sorry. Okay, no problem, Jem. See you later. Or Duck. Bro, it's always them New York people. Like, what happened, bro? Like, I'm such a nice person, and you removed me. I mean, I did remove her from my Snapchat stories, but that was like a long time ago. Like, she just did this. I'm like, why? But like, my Snapchat stories are like really spammy, and so I felt bad. Because one time she was like, "Oh my goodness, you posted 70 posts." I'm like, okay, but like, are you annoyed by that? Like, if you're annoyed by that, like, don't watch it. Like, I'll just like. But yeah, this is different because she's like, I don't know.
Give us a small loss function value. So this is gradient descent algorithm. And
It could have been by mistake, to be honest. I've had friends do that before, or maybe I'm just coping. Did you confront your friends about it though? Cause she did that for my sister as well. Like she took away my sister. But it's not the first time they did this though. Like she was the last person to remove us, and not even from her main account, just like her personal account, where she's like more close to people with. At least she still follows me with her main, but like, what's the point? Cause yeah, her sisters. She has a lot of sisters, but like the younger ones, they removed us too. Like me and my sister. It's like, what are they hearing about us that makes them do that? Like, I don't even want to ask, bro. I'm so shy. I just have to cope with everything in life. Like all I do is cope, bro.
The parameter values that give us a small loss function value. So this is gradient descent algorithm. But now let's look at here the other algorithm, optimization algorithm. One is AdaGrad. So if you look at this, the basic gradient descent algorithm, you might find that this learning rate always the same when in each update, the parameter update, this learning rate keeps the same. Can we have some adaptive learning rate? AdaGrad give us this option. As you can see here,
I asked them if they unfollowed me, like super casual about it. Oh yeah? What did they say? Was it actually a mistake, or did it become like a drama or something? Cause I'm so scared of drama, bro. I never had like any problems with anybody in my immediate life. I don't remember. Okay. Bro, I feel you. I avoid confrontation as much as possible. Even my friends tell me you can't let them do that to you. Yeah, bro, I feel like people who confront too much, like they come off as rude or something. Like, you don't, well, like, I would just leave that sometimes. So there's a fine line where there's like a middle where you know when to leave something, be like, okay, that's fine. Or when to, like, address something. And I don't know that fine line. I can't even imagine confronting somebody, bro, about something. Like I have so many people on my list to confront, like that boss I have to see tomorrow, cause I'm going to work, and she cut my pay for no reason. Just saying, oh, actually, in the summer it's more chill. It's not. It's not. Like kids are pooping all over themselves, and she just undermined all my work. Like even if I barely went to, cause they have to call me to go to work. She just did that. I'm like, bro, y'all being cheap and lying to me. And I don't know if I'm even gonna talk to her tomorrow. What can I say? I'll be like, let me practice. Hello, Miss. I don't even know her name at this point. Hello, Miss Principal. I just wanted to talk to you about my paycheck. I'm scared. No, no, I have to actually know what to say. Otherwise, I'm gonna get cooked tomorrow. I'll be like, um, yeah, I was thinking like maybe next, since we agreed on $20 an hour. Like, we started off with 23, right, and then we negotiated it down to 20, and I didn't know until right before payday that it was actually $17 in the summer. Like, I don't know if that was like a new rule or if you just made that up, but maybe since I was under the impression that it was supposed to be $20 per hour, like that was the wage. Maybe next time you could take it down to 17. Cause I come from 40 miles away. Like this is something that I take really seriously. I always come, but yeah, I'm also a student. I need to put money for my tuition, and I hope you could be more empathetic and understanding towards me. I can't say all that, bro. I guess the one major factor about confronting someone is the tone you say it in. She just sounds like a horrible person, like an a-hole stuff. I know to keep you in the dark about it stuff. Literally, and to change it right before. And the way she was telling me, she was nervous. Like, she thought I was going to confront her, but I was just like, oh, okay. But still, like, I could have taken that chance. Like, she was scared. I could see it in her eyes, in her voice. She's like, is that okay? I was like, what the hell? It's not okay. I was trying to say something and she was just cut me off. Like, fine. I don't care about the money anyways. It's just to put something real on my resume. But the amount of, because it's a rich place, it's Santa Monica, bro. Everything is so expensive there. Even to park, you need a parking monitor. Because it's not nervous. That would have made me more mad. No, literally, like you know what you're doing is wrong. Like she knew what she was doing. I need somebody with me. I was literally thinking today, like, is there, because you know how there's like support animals, like you have like a dog or even a duck. Like I've seen that too, but people have support animals, right? Emotional support. Is there an emotional support person you could have around you? Like I feel like I'm disabled in that sense. Like I need somebody with me to like back me up, outnumber the person that I'm confronting. Like, man.
Yeah, we're still following. So I suppose at this parameter value, we follow the negative gradient direction. So this is gradient. We still follow the negative gradient direction. But the learning rate is can we have some fun?
I guess just a really good friend could work as an emotional support person. I know I need a really good friend, and I have friends, but like, I don't really know if they choose me though. One of them does, but it's hard because, yeah, that person, I should be able to confront them too. I have something to say, but I just threw in the back of my mind like, oh, whatever, I'll just forgive her for it without confronting, which is bad because if there's something to be honest about, like you should tell them to keep the friendship strong. Because it does affect them, to affect me still today. Because at some point, she did spill my beans when she instigated that response, and she was acting as if I said it out of the blue. I was like, you asked me if I hated you in 6th grade, and I said yeah, because it was true, and you asked because you knew. But I was trying to say that back then I didn't really know you as a person, and I hated you because we didn't really get along. That's like kind of natural for 6th graders, like to have beef and stuff. But when you grow up and you understand the person, like you end up liking them. But all she heard from all that conversation was that I didn't like you in 6th grade, or like I hated you. I didn't hate. That's a strong word too. Okay, maybe I did hate, but things changed. Okay, she didn't like that. And she was so mad. And she told everybody in the car. And she kept saying it over and over. I'm like, come on, bro. And then, yeah, I think she got offended. So she always put her sister first. Like, when we'd watch a show, like, she watched the last episode with her sister. I'm like, okay. But then again, recently she was watching a show with her sister, and then she watched it by herself too. She's like, I don't have anything else to watch. I'm like, oh okay. So she didn't do that only with me. She did that with her sister too. Middle schoolers will be middle schoolers. True.
Adaptive learning rate. Ada Grant gave us this option. As you can see here, we're still following. So okay, I suppose at this parameter value, we follow negative gradient.
Prime value.
Ada Grant gave us this option. As you can see here, we're still following. So okay, I suppose at this parameter value, we follow
Parameter value.
the negative negative gradient direction. So why we can use this item to adjust the learning rate. So if you look at here, suppose we are at this point and we want to approach to this one. If you check the gradient, so this gradient will, this is slope, you will find that the gradient has a high value. But from this observation, we know that when we want to change, suppose here this is corresponding the parameter values here, the learning rate, we should use a small learning rate. If we use large learning rate, right, it may become diverge. So, and also for here, suppose we have with the learning, suppose when we compute the gradient at this parameter values, if you look at the gradient direction, the value, you may find this gradient value is not as slope as positioning on the left. If this gradient is smaller, but if it is smaller based on the observation, we may find that we may want to use a larger learning rate that may help us to move faster to the optimal point. So this is why we in Element they want to use the divided by the history of the gradient to update, because when
Hi Jojo, yo, Mr. Macaroni, how's it going? Welcome back to the stream. Down today. I had to put my dog down today. No! What? Are you kidding me? What happened? I'm so sorry to hear that, Mr. Macaroni. Bro, your dog, was he, like, unhealthy or, like, what happened? That's so unfortunate. I'm so sorry, bro. I'm so sorry.
And suppose in history, they always find a gradient, the large, so that you use a small learning rate. If the gradient is small, then you may want to use a larger learning rate.
She was 14 and had cancer. I'm glad she's out of pain and in a better place. Aww. I mean, yeah, that's good that she doesn't have to suffer anymore. I feel like it would be too hard to put, you know, if I had a dog, it would be hard to put her down. But if the cost is too much for the cancer treatments, then yeah, I think that's the more viable options to put them down. Because it's not haram, like, to euthanize a cat or a dog, like, when they are suffering that much. I don't know though. People different opinions about that, but for me, yeah.
This is Ada. So
yeah, it's good. I'm glad that she's not feeling pain either.
This will introduce adaptive learning rate based on historic gradient values. Right. The next one is called MS prompt. So MS prompt is another optimization algorithm.
Bye guys. Okay. Yeah, take care, Mr. Macaroni. See you later. And yeah, I'll check out the pictures of her if you post them on your YouTube.
In gradient descent algorithm. So previously we mentioned that here, if in the diagram, you really need to keep a record of all the past, the whole history of the gradient values. For here, you can see this will record in the first iteration what the gradient is and to the current one. So that need to keep a long history of the data of the gradient. So IMS plot, they will just take advantage of most recent gradient and current gradient. So for here, you may see it's directly shown here. So we still use, at each stage when we want to update gradient, we still follow the negative gradient direction. This is user-specified learning rate, which we make a similar strategy, make it adaptive. But
I'm back, but I'm gonna take a shower though. Okay. Yeah, have fun taking a shower. Giovanni Castillo.
this learning rate over here, we no longer using all history gradient values. At the beginning, we will just use the current gradient value. After that, we will compute this weighted sum based on the current one and the previous, the theta value here. So at each stage, we will have this theta weight value. So this kind of compute what value we should use to adjust this learning rate. So at each stage, we will based on current one to adjust this theta value. So this is how we kind of still considering the all history data, but we use the combination at each stage. We only based on the current one and using this adjustable variable to control how much we will change on this learning rate. Okay? So at each stage combination, we only need just the current by the previous theta value and the current the gradient value to involve the combination to control this adjustment. Right? But so this is an IMS plot algorithm. So another one we may notice that suppose here at some way the loss function at here. So when we follow the negative gradient direction, right? Previously at that Adagrand IMS plot, we all follow the negative gradient direction by using this gradient. So you can treat it kind of this gradient. So if we view the parameter as a position and gradient as a speed, right? So we use the negative gradient value based on learning rate to move. Suppose we are at here. This is at this moment. So you think about the parameter is at here. This is corresponding loss value. We use negative gradient direction to lower the loss by tuning the parameter. So suppose we are at here. This is a loss function. When you compute the gradient, you will find the gradient or loss function with respect to the width, this will become 0. or you can think of that gradient is 0. If gradient is 0, now you follow the negative gradient direction no matter what you use here, the learning rate, because we always follow the negative gradient direction. Because this one is 0, so this item will be always 0, right? So if an item is always 0, that means the parameter here, the width of the parameter variables, the value of those parameters will be always stay the same. So that means there's no way for us to climb over this small u to get a slower value. So we're gonna start here. So that means the gradient descent, although it can help us lower the loss function, but whenever we hit this local minimum point, local minimum position where the gradient is 0, we're gonna start there. There's no way to move forward because we treat, it's kind of like for here, if you consider about physics, so this is kind of like you treat gradient as a speed. When the speed is 0, for here there's no way for us to move forward. Okay, so the next one, so here we want to introduce the idea called momentum. Momentum is another deep learning algorithm, an optimization algorithm to solve this issue. So instead of consider the gradient as, a speed, now we consider gradient as acceleration. So suppose we are here. So now think about gradient. So suppose here the gradient is 0. If we treat it as an acceleration, but because we still have, so here even though the gradient is 0, we treat it as acceleration. So here we may still have the speed that can help us move forward. Acceleration is 0, it doesn't mean the speed is 0, right? So when we treat gradient as acceleration, even though here gradient is 0, we still can move forward. Hopefully, it may help us climb this view, climb over this view, and move forward in the smaller domain, the loss value. Okay, so here let's look at the momentum of the process. Suppose we are starting at this point. Okay, we compute the gradient, but keep in mind we no longer directly use gradient as an update of the parameter, but we just treat it as acceleration rather than speed. So for here we will, for example, this one is a gradient, and we will.
I posted a picture of it. Aww. See El Mundo. Not El Mundo, sorry, Mr. Macaroni. Oh my days, you're so cute, bro. Look at those beautiful eyes and her forehead. I just want to like pat her there, like she's so sweet. Oh, comments are turned off. That's good. But yeah, thanks for showing us your cat. I mean dog. My bad.
We will compute the speed, how much we should calculate for movement based on the gradient and also the gradient. And we will compute the speed, how much we should calculate for movement based on the gradient and also the point, the speed. We will calculate this speed. Now we will use this speed to update the parameter. As a new notation, we will still the gradient, and we follow the negative gradient direction, right? And we update this speed, right? And then we use this speed to change the parameter. So I'm going to suppose at some point, here, let's say, the speed, right? And then we use this speed to change the parameter. So I'm going to suppose
movement not just based on gradient but previous movement. Okay. Movement of last step minus gradient at present.
at some point, suppose at here, let's say, suppose at this moment, the gradient, let's say, suppose this gradient is 0. The gradient is 0. So now this gradient is 0, what we can have? So we will use, suppose the next stage, we will update this to the speed, which will have us update the parameter. We will have this formula minus, still we have this linear rate. This is 2. Because this point is 0, this item will become. But because we have this speed not 0, so the mean speed here is the speed at this moment will be now 0. Then which can help us to move or change this parameter formula to another way.
If the gradient is 0, the movement is still there. So this is starting point, complete gradient there. So this is your movement, you add it to the gradient. She was an Australian Shepherd. Yeah, looks like it. They're the most, or like the top smartest dogs, because they know their job. Like, it's like innate for them to, like, you know, be a shepherd.
So this is the idea why the momentum, momentum can help us.
They're probably really easy to train. Okay, now I gotta go for it. Okay, bye. Take care, Mr. Raccoon.
Start at some point, at local point, where the gradient is 0, right? How to treat, logically treat this gradient as an acceleration rather than as the speed. This is the momentum algorithm. So in that deeply, one of the popular optimizer that we want.
For momentum, initialize first moment vector. Atom equals RMS prop plus momentum. Atom. Not movement, momentum.
Use this item. So what item is actually item is about. They use adaptive learning rate based on the RMS part. They also treat the gradient as an acceleration to update the parameter rather than the speed, to update the parameter. So this item optimizer has all the elements of both of those two algorithms. So that's why people most of the time we use either stochastic gradient and basic algorithm or the item optimizer.
Alright, we're done with the lecture. That was nice that we finished both lectures from today and yesterday, and we have a couple left to catch up on since last time, but I'm not gonna finish those today. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, so I have to do this one and another assignment. What else? I do want to read The Lord of the Rings. Maybe I'll do that tonight after I finish these assignments. And then, let me think. I have a lot on my mind. It's not that I need to think of something. I have so many things I need to choose. What else is there? Oh, I have Quran class at 10, actually. So, to do that. Then after that, I'll maybe watch Spider-Man with my mom, like the previous movies. We'll see. But yeah, take care, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one, inshallah. This was a very calm live, but at least I got to talk about how I was feeling, and that did make me feel better. Every time I explain or vent on my streams, like, it automatically makes me feel better, because, like, y'all are so